Here we go.
Kain is deified. The clans tell tales of him. Few know the truth. He was mortal once, as were we all. However, his contempt for humanity drove him to create me and my brethren. I am Raziel, firstborn of his lieutenants. I stood with Kain and my brethren at the dawn of the Empire. I have served him a millennium. Over time, we became less human and more divine. Kain would enter the state of change and emerge with a new gift. Some years after the Master, our evolution would follow, until I had the honor of surpassing my lord. For my transgression, I earned a new kind of reward. Agony. There was only one possible outcome. My eternal damnation. I, Raziel, was to suffer the fate of traitors and weaklings, to burn forever in the bowels of the Lake of the Dead.
Cast him in.
Tumbling, burning with white-hot fire, I plunged into the depths of the abyss. Unspeakable pain, relentless agony. Time ceased to exist. Only this torture and a deepening hatred of the hypocrisy that damned me to this hell. An eternity passed, and my torment receded, bringing me back from the precipice of madness. The descent had destroyed me, and yet I lived.
Raziel, you are worthy. I know you, Raziel. You are worthy.
What madness is this? What pitiful form is this that I have come to inhabit? Death would be a release next to this travesty.
You did not survive the abyss, Raziel. I have only spared you from total dissolution.
I would choose oblivion over this existence.
The choice is not yours.
I am destroyed.
You are reborn. The birth of one of Kain's abominations traps the essence of life. It is this soul that animates the corpse you lived in. And that, Raziel, is the demise of Nosgoth. There is no balance. The souls of the dead remain trapped. I cannot spin them in the wheel of fate. They cannot complete their destinies. Redeem yourself. Or if you prefer, avenge yourself. Settle your dispute with Kain. Destroy him and your brethren. Free their souls and let the wheel of fate churn again. Use your hatred to reave their souls. I can make it possible. Become my Soul Reaver, my angel of death.
Dude, that was actually cooler than I remember it being. Also, I completely forgot that the reason he's got those flappy bits are because he ripped his bones out of his wings. I thought that this was just like fabric that was part of his scarf, which is cool as hell. This is how he eats souls. Like, he doesn't even have a jaw. He stretches this open and just sucks in all of the spirit energy. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with these games. I know they're a bit on the corny side when it comes to some of the storytelling. It gets a little, like, dramatic. But I don't really think that matters all that much, as long as it's fun. I also remember this game being fairly difficult. Like, had some pretty tricky puzzles and some interesting stuff going on in it exploration-wise. On the back of the box, it said it was 60 hours long. And I said that is not correct. That is not correct, absolutely not. So I looked up how long to play, and it was like, this is like a 15-hour game at most. So how did they get that number? 60 hours is like a huge departure.
These gates twist space, laying a path across great spans.
So yeah, this game, I think it really grabbed my attention specifically because at the time I loved Shadow Man. That was like my favorite game ever. And this was pretty close to that in terms of play style. This is a bit more, well, completely more vampire-y, obviously. Shadow Man's a game about voodoo and like hanging out in hell. This is a game about like fighting dudes in Nosgoth. I don't remember what the area locations mean at all, so I guess I'll just pick the first.
You must visit other gates before this portal will be open to you.
Okay. I also felt at the time like this was what Tomb Raider games should have been like. Obviously, Tomb Raider games are a bit hampered, being not about a supernatural entity, like you're a person, and you gotta like live with those consequences. I can't go in any of these. Let me be. But just the concept seemed so much more engaging to me. All the stuff that could go on as a vampire man. Hang on, I've talked myself into confusion. Which one of these paths did I come into? Probably the one that leads down I came in from. Alright. Bert the Quato, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime subscription. Just a quick reminder, by the way, it is still half-price subs for the rest of the month if you haven't already subscribed and you want to for the very first time. Now's a decent time to.
You must feed.
The old hunger has left me.
But no pressure, of course, just if you're gonna anyway.
For blood.
You are changed. Your bloodthirst is replaced by a deeper need. You have become a devourer of souls. To sustain your strength, you must hunt the lost spirits of the underworld and consume the souls of your enemies.
Oh, yeah, I gotcha. Thank you very much, Emmerich01. Let me fix that notification, but thank you very much for the 1,000 bits. Much appreciated. Sorry, I forgot to move the notifications up to the top of the stack properly here. There, that should be sorted out now. So yeah, I get to be a level 2 vampire, which is not only do I want blood, but I want soul power. And you see I have a little cool spiral at the bottom right. Spiral action means I'm getting awesome shit now. That's what they call it in the game. They're like, yo, Razu, you want some awesome shit? And he's like, yeah, man. They're like, all right, you gotta eat green balls. And he's like, fuck yeah, I've been waiting for that my whole life. Give me some green balls. Well, he doesn't drink blood, but he likes blood. Like, he spills it all the time. You get spears and shit, you just throw them. Just throw spears and, like, knock people into walls with them and impale them and stuff. And then you gotta suck their souls out. It's the only way.
Your wings, though ruined, are not without purpose.
Hey,
Take hold
glide.
of them as you leap, and they will carry you across this chasm.
See? They're not useless. Does he have to hold on to the edges of the wings? That feels so sad. The constant reminder of how he could have had cool wings and instead...
What scabrous wretches are
they
these?
just beat him up.
Shua, the scavengers of the underworld. Their feral hunger has claimed countless souls, spirits who now shall never find their rest.
Oh, they're like hollows. Jax the Wanderer, thank you very much for the 14-month resubscription. So half of 14 is 7, and 7 plus 3 plus 3 plus 1, and 3 equals Illuminati, and 1 equals God. So there's no two Illuminatis and 1 God, but they're all evil. You know, I couldn't have said that better myself. Thanks very much, Jax. I think as far as attacks go, all I have is little claw swipes. I did always wonder, and correct me if I'm wrong, like, are the origins of the people, the main people this concerned, Draziel and Kain, are they actually human, or were they human before they were vampires, or are they some sort of other vampiric race? Because, like, what's up with the 3 fingers and 2 toes look? And I get his abdomen fell out because he was burning in, like, the acid lake for a good while, but I don't get the 3 fingers move.
You have much to learn, Raziel. When you are ready, this barrier will be dissolved.
They were human. Okay, so like in the first Blood Omen game, I guess they were human? Kain was human. I figured he knew what was up, considering he has like a set of wings. Like, that's not a thing humans evolve eventually just by thinking about it real hard. Okay, I forgot how bad the combat was, but that's okay. Let's eat some of that up. Thank you. I don't think I figured out what R was in all of that, because I don't think it's actually R. Where's the other one? Is he just running from me now? What, are you scared? Yeah, get in my belly. Do you get the sword thing in this game? Yes, you do. The Soul Reaver is I thought what they called the sword thing specifically, but I guess it's also what the Elder God calls you. Yo, what belly? Okay, good point. Get in my upper abdomen, I guess, to be more correct. Yeah, I gotta say, they did a great job with the art style on this.
These portals are your conduit between the spectral and material.
It's colorful. You wouldn't expect a colorful
With their
game.
aid, you may gather matter and will yourself to become manifest in the physical world. This is taxing, however. Your strength must first be fully restored. You require no conduit to return to this plane. You may abandon your physical body at any time.
I just realized I'm now playing a second game in a row that has a light world and dark world mechanic, and soon I will be playing a third. So we just did Link to the Past, who I'm sure you know has the mirror. Then we're playing this, which has a both world mechanic, and then we're gonna be playing Metroid Prime 2, which is also a dark world situation. I just love this animation; it never gets old to me. It looks like he's slapping on his knees. Do you dare me to play the entire game like this? Pretty sure I'm supposed to go into this. Okay, D-pad up or down, it said. Ah, okay, we cast.
Sustain your strength to prolong your manifestation in the physical world. If you fail to feed or absorb too many wounds, this fragile matter will dissolve.
The left of the Soul Reaver image bounding box is visible on the right edge. Uh-oh. Well, you just hang on just a gosh darn second here. Let me see what you mean. Oh, there's... yeah, okay. They're a little intersecting with the actual image. How in the heck did that happen? I guess that would mean the video image is not perfectly centered. That didn't even strike me as a thing that could be possible. So I didn't really think very hard about it. No problem, I'll fix them now. Thank you for telling me. That would have bugged the hell out of me if I didn't notice it. And I wouldn't have noticed it, because I didn't open up the preview that big. Okay, that should be better. What happened to my spiral? It's all janky now. Jankify my spiral.
You still retain many of your vampiric weaknesses. Immersion in water, while not fatal, will dissolve your physical body, forcing your return to the spirit world. Be aware that in the spectral realm, water has neither heft nor lift. It stands as thin as air.
Heft nor lift. Basically, when you're in spirit realm, you have the gravity suit. Uh-oh. Did you ever play any of the wizardry RPGs from the 90s? Not really, no. I think I own one of them. Some on PS2, like a wizardry something something, tower of something something something.
What are these creatures?
Do you not recognize them? They are the children of your brother, Duma.
That's impossible. These foul, scuttling beasts could not be kin of our high blood?
Do you suppose that time stood still for you, Raziel? Much has changed since you passed from the world of men.
Whoop! I thought I was traveling forward at a much quicker pace than that. Well, they got me. I'm now trapped in here forever. I don't remember what that is. I would like it, though. Okay, I can high jump. I gotta remember that. You duck and then jump. But... how do I get out? Oh, okay. That's a heart piece? Oh, okay, they extend your spiral, I assume. See all these little spiky things on the walls? These are for impaling enemies onto. Isn't that nice? So where you have to stand in only certain places. I guess he doesn't care about light. Man, it's just, I do not remember almost anything about this game. How do I center the camera? Oh. Okay, it's got pan, but it's like you hold right for a bit and then it slowly pans a little bit in the opposite direction.
I knew my opponent's weaknesses.
Oh, they're creepy.
I suffered them myself. Physical wounds are fleeting. A vampire's immortal flesh begins to close as soon as it is cleaved. Vampires need only fear those wounds that impale or inflame. Water scorches like acid, and fledglings are devastated by sunlight's touch.
Ah, fledglings,
I have
right.
to modify my tactics to suit my foes.
They shoot like bright pink neon blood out as well, which is pretty cool. It's funny that they get to be invincible, right? But like, when they hit me, I don't have that. No, but actually, what is the R button though? I don't think it's R. Uh-oh.
Unfettered from the flesh, a creature's soul fades swiftly into the spectral realm. Draw it in quickly, Raziel, or you will be compelled to follow.
I will? Hang on. Is it? It's not click the stick, right? That's absurd. Is it? Oh, it's right trigger, not right shoulder. It just didn't seem like it was doing that at first. Well, yeah. Okay, you release it to throw. Okay, let's hold him then. Drag him over to the water. Hey, stop bleeding on my back, you creepo. Alright. Where does Soul go? Oh yeah, it kicks the blocks around? Uh-oh.
Your physical prowess surpasses what you knew in life. Even massive obstacles can be moved effortlessly.
Right, but where do you want me to move it exactly? Oh, you want me to, like, jump out of here or something, maybe? Is there a ledge? Wait, isn't there? There's a look. Yeah, you hold both of the triggers. Ah, there it is. Just a basic understanding of your surroundings is sort of hard in some of these types of games. What is this? He won't kick it now? Do I have to... Oh, X. There we go. He spears the block. I don't know why he only kicked it the one time. We got a lot of blocks to move in this game. Gonna have to understand this stuff. Thanks very much, Cardman001, for the 5 months resubscription. And GD Rock 33 as well for the 1 year resubscription. Enjoy the new badge. And thank you for sticking around for a whole year.
My God!
Is that a crow?
The sanctuary of the clans reduced to ruin. Beyond these walls lay the pillars of Nosgoth, the seat of Kain's empire. How humble it now appeared, collapsing into the dust of its former magnificence. And yet, I had only just emerged. In the instant between my execution and resurrection, centuries had apparently passed.
This world is wrecked with cataclysms. The earth strains to shrug off the pestilence of Kain's parasitic empire. The fate of this world was preordained in an instant by a solitary man. Unwilling to martyr himself to restore Nosgoth's balance, Kain condemned the world to the decay you see. In that moment, the unraveling began. Now it is nearly played out. Nosgoth teeters on the brink of collapse. Its fragile balance cannot hold.
I hear you, Emmerich. That must be really frustrating. When I was going to school for all that stuff, like, pretty much social media wasn't quite a thing yet, which sounds so weird to say. Wait, what do I have to hit this guy with? Oh, I could throw him in the fire over here. Look at those dynamic light effects on that wall. Hey, oh, he's wiggling. He's a wiggler. No more wiggling, you hear me? Just bleeding. That's what you do now. That's your job. You're a bleeder. There, now you're a burner. How do you feel when the character you used to play as is now the bad guy? Well, I guess you just have to change perspectives right along with him, so that way he still gets to be the good guy. And then you get to win. Throw him! Oh, he's a wiggler again! I know there's a spear. I could have just picked the spear up and hit him with that. Okay, maybe I will. It's hard to get him to stay in the right spot when you're throwing. What's the pickup? There we go. There we go. Roar! Oh, he made it sound like right out of Symphony of the Night. Pick up these. Oh, you can pick up the rocks too. Oh, he's got a big ol' wiggle. I think you always want to have a spear with you. Oh, another life piece over there. I'm probably gonna get lost a lot in this game. I apologize if that's the case. I do remember it being kind of complicated, like, to get around. But I really did enjoy this a lot back in the day. It's like, Mir said how, you know, didn't realize that this game was so popular. Oh, this is where I came in. That's kind of what I figured, because this is not a game that's had a new entry in its series for a good while. The last thing that they made that had anything to do with it was actually sort of an abomination to the series. If I'm remembering it correctly, they made some sort of, I don't know, pay-to-win, like, I want to say FPS, but like combat-oriented game on PC that was like maybe 6 years ago. Right. No, I don't need to sneak. I could just, like, throw... Oh, I could just throw this. It was an MMO. I honestly don't even know what it was, but I was just pissed about it because I just wanted an actual game. Dude, that is exactly the Symphony of the Night sound. Arena brawling thing. Yeah, you know, whatever it was. It wasn't a proper game for the series. So, I just felt bad that some people might have thought that that's all that this series meant. It was just whatever that thing was. And I know to some degree, old games like this, I mean, they don't quite hold up to the same degrees. Oh, right, he comes back to life, you don't suck him. They don't hold up necessarily to the onlookers, but for those that were there for it, had a good time with it. It'll be fun to watch a playthrough again, I hope. Oh, did my spear break? It's just like a little plume now. Yeah, so that's where they threw me into the pit. Sorry about all this loading. It's a bit of a drag.
This, at least, had remained constant. The endlessly swirling vortex of the abyss. My tomb and the womb of my rebirth. Though much of Nosgoth's landscape had changed, these cliffs gave me my bearings. My clan territory was to the west. I was anxious to see how my descendants had fared during the centuries of my absence.
It's not broken, it's just stuck in the ground. Fair enough. I know, like, me from 16 or 17 years ago, if I had asked that question, like, what is this noob talking about? So they did put a ton of time into the series, or at least the 2 Soul Reaver games. And now I'm just like, oh yeah, how do you kill things again? How do you lock on? I'm an old fuddy-duddy now. Will I be playing Heat Signature? Yeah, I'll probably try it. Seemed like everybody was loving it. Oh, they sucked the heat right off of my torch there. That doesn't seem very fair at all. Okay, maybe I can relight it over on this pyre. Ah, why relight it when you just take a spear? Hey guys, what's happening? Oh. This game would actually do really well with a remake. Just modernize the controls a little bit, polish up some of the poly counts. Maybe group 1 and 2 into a collection or something, and I don't know if you really want to go all out 1 and 2 and Defiance, but like probably 1 and 2 is even enough. Oh, I did it again. That must be awful for that guy. It's like I haven't even fully died yet. You brought me back to life just to kill me again? What happened to the soul? Did it deplete? No. Here, impale him on this rock. This music in the background's not bad. You wouldn't believe just how much being able to use the right analog stick to control the camera would help this. Because right now, all you got is this really shitty pan function and center camera, which isn't quite good enough. Also, the camera is just way too reactive and close to the player, which makes looking around a lot more difficult. Like, you can do this, but that's about it. It's like basically as much control as you had in Mario 64, only the camera's even worse.
Utter desolation. My once proud kin wiped from this world like excrement from a boot. I knew the hand that wrought this deed.
Voice acting's pretty good, too. And that's saying something, because, like, that was a hallmark of this era of games, was specifically bad voice acting. This does not seem so bad. Well, I was busy. I was gonna eat your buddy. Get off me, but get off. I'm gonna miss his soul if you don't get off. Thank you. Thank you for cooperating. What's this? That's just a pillar. You actually have, like, full access to go to any of these little areas here. Did an invisible wall it off? Where'd he go? Are you even still here? Did he get bored? Alright. Whatever. The feet are creeping you out a little. Just pretend they're Ninja Turtle feet, but pointier. Hey, Shaggy Matt. Oh, we only just started, so things are just starting up. But, not bad so far. It's another one of those games that's like, I think it's going to be both better and worse than I remember in different ways. It's going to be a lot harder to play because of the stuff that we're used to now in modern games. Specifically, better controls. But the gameplay itself is probably just quite solid. See, okay. I do remember that little clicking sound as it, like, sinks to your hand. It's like it's a magnet. I don't know, does Raziel have, hand magnet powers? I didn't think he does, but I don't know, you get all kinds of stuff as a vampire, I guess. Anyone else remember the terrible Gex box art? Yes. The topless girl, no, I don't. He was, I believe he was just looking down his nose over a pair of sunglasses because he was so hip. Because, see, the whole premise of Gex was he was really into, like, pop culture. And he was very savvy to what the kids were talking about, so he would make little quips all the time. That might be an actually amazing game to stream now that I think about it. There might be some amazingly dated references in there that would just be hilarious now. I have not played a Gex game in ages, and the only one I've ever played actually was the original PS1 version. Good thing they knew well enough to make this combat take all of 2 seconds each time. Otherwise, there'd just be way too much of it. Oh, hey, like, use the camera to your advantage. That's tricky. Next one is just like an alright platformer. Yeah, that's all I really thought it was trying to be. At the time, there weren't all that many platformers that even existed, really. Not like main series, I mean. There was platforming elements in plenty of games, but that was sort of, not new ground, but it wasn't quite as well-treaded as it is these days. Although, what isn't? PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, how about that? Only one of those can exist.
No! Please!
Oh my god! Oh no!
I didn't recognize these flayed racks
The
of
man!
flesh. Their scent was vampiric. They gnawed upon their victims' carcass
No.
like dogs.
Oh, that struck me so out of left field, and it's so hot in here that I almost passed out from laughing. That's not good. Alright. Well, that man was made out of a cardboard box. Or several cardboard boxes, I guess, to be generous. Yeah, it was a different time. God, it must be so weird thinking, like, the people who spent tons of time working out the art assets for these types of games, and, like, that was the best that they could really put in, and, like, they tried, they did their best, and I'm not even saying it's bad, it's just for the time that's what it was. They obviously had to keep to very low poly counts for these types of games, otherwise the frame rate's going to suffer. And then you just think about how it is now, and, I don't know, maybe some of those models could be knocked out in like 15-20 minutes. Just the meshes, I mean. The texture work's still another thing. No, I have water, don't worry. I have water, and I have some right next to me. Oh, right, there's just like humans sometimes that are just around, and you can kill them and eat their souls immediately. Just like little one-hit Wendy's.
This charnel house bore the unmistakable marks of Melchiah's clan. To what depths had our dynasty plummeted if these ghouls were the descendants of my high-born brother? Were they so debased as to recruit fledglings from the desiccated corpses here interred?
You know, the other thing that strikes me, I know this is, it sounds like I'm being insulting, but like the fact that the writing makes sense, like all of the phrasing and the grammar seems like it's correct and it's spoken reasonably well. It sounds silly to say, but those are things you don't see all that often. Oh, Lynn's here. Hi, Lynn. Lynn, just for you, I'm going to get this cool staff. Yeah, take this one, please. Yeah, it looks like a Japanese hairpin, but it's a pin of the dead. Wasn't just poly counts. Games from this era didn't have a lot of tech we take for granted now, like model rigging. Well, they still had keyframes, right? I mean, that's how most of that animation was done. Now that I think about it, like, what did they use as a template for a body in these types of games? Or did they just make it up out of a bunch of primitives and stitch them together somehow? So I'm looking at his body, I'm like, alright, there's a bunch of rectangles with tweaked edges. His calves are bulky as shit. Like, this dude works out. But maybe it's just because of the character's silhouette. They probably want to have a very unique silhouette. Because, yeah, honestly, his calves make no physical sense compared to the rest of his leg. The top of his leg looks like it makes most sense. Anyway, where am I? Let's stand on this block and look around. Okay, I want to get up there. So you could sink my hands deep within this block. You go over there. Just grab that. His body is just unsettling. Yeah, I didn't really look at it after a while. I just sort of took it for granted that he's just sort of wearing a purple leotard. Even though I know it's actually just his, like, bones and musculature. Oh. And it also kind of creeped me out when I would realize that his abdomen is just missing.
My brother Melchiah was made last, and then
Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver.
the poorest portion of Kain's gift. Although immortal, his soul could not sustain the flesh, which retained much of its previous human frailty. This weakness, it seemed, was passed on to his offspring. Their fragile skins barely contained the underlying decay.
Thanks very much, Tiki500, for the 15 months resubscription. Said, hello, Nick. Love your streams. Well, thank you. Yeah, so, bad news. Unfortunately, his dick did burn off in the acid pit. I know, it's a drag. But, like, I don't know why the bits of him that survived did. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Maybe there's some lore reason for it. But, like, he's got his, like, leather gauntlet things and his piece of cloth that he had on his shoulder that he now uses for his scarf. And his little legging, whatever those are. I don't understand his legs either, but he's, like, half goat man or something. He's got weird feet.